Magandang araw! Sama-sama tayong matuto sa Teacher Sal Learning Resource Channel.
Revised K-12 Curriculum Math 2 Quarter 2 Week 8 Numbers and Algebra. What are your observations about the given arrangement of circles? There are 4 figures, each composed of circles. Figures 1 and 2 have one row of 2 circles, while figures 3 and 4 have 2 rows of 2 circles. Each figure contains a different number of circles. The number of circles increases by 1 from figure 1 to figure 4. How do you know that the numbers are in increasing order? We compare the number of circles in each figure and observe that the number of circles increases by 1 from one figure to the next. This shows that each figure has more circles than the one before it. Let us consider figures 1 and 2. Compare the number of circles in figure 1 and figure 2. The number of circles in figure 2 is 1 more than in figure 1. We can say that 2 increased by 1, or adding 1 to 2 gives 3. Write plus 1 between 2 and 3. Now, let us consider figures 2 and 3. Compare the number of circles in figure 2 and figure 3. The number of circles in figure 3 is 1 more than in figure 2. We can say that 3 increased by 1, or adding 1 to 3 gives 4. Write plus 1 between 3 and 4. This time, let us consider figures 3 and 4. Compare the number of circles in figure 3 and figure 4. The number of circles in figure 4 is 1 more than in figure 3. We can say that 4 increased by 1, or adding 1 to 4 gives 5. Write plus 1 between 4 and 5. The given sequence or arrangement of circles follows a specific order, known as an increasing pattern. An increasing pattern is a sequence in which the term grows or increases according to a certain rule. In this sequence, each figure is called a term. To determine the next term, we follow a rule. The number of circles increases by 1 from the previous term to the next. The sequence is not only increasing, but more importantly, the increase is always by 1. Suppose we extend the sequence. How do you determine the next term after figure 4? The next term is figure 5, which should contain 6 circles. The pattern is that we add 1 circle to the number of circles in the previous term to determine the next. Since figure 4 has 5 circles, we add 1 to get the next term. 5 plus 1 equals 6. Thus, figure 5 should have 6 circles. Notice that the number of circles in each figure always increases by 1. Look at the following sequences: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. A6, B7, C8, D9, E10. Is the pattern an increasing pattern? Why? Yes, it is an increasing pattern because the number increases by 5 from one term to the next. What will be the next term in the given sequence? The next term is 30. How do you know? We add 5 to 25 to get the next term because that is the rule. Now, look at sequence 2. Observe the sequence carefully. What can you say about sequence 2 compared to sequence 1? Unlike sequence 1, which consists only of numbers, sequence 2 has a combination of both letters and numbers. Does sequence 2 show an increasing pattern? Why? Yes, it does. The letters follow the chronological order of the alphabet, while their corresponding numbers increase by 1 from the previous term to the next. What will be the next term in the sequence? The next term is F11. How do you know? We consider the letter after E, which is F, and add 1 to 10, which gives 11. What is an increasing pattern? An increasing pattern is a sequence in which the elements of the sequence increase according to a certain rule. What is the next term in the following sequence? Throw your answer inside the rectangle. For number 2, write the term that should be in each blank. 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, blank. The answer is 20. Number 2. The answer is 27. Number 3. You're right, the answer is 16A. For day 2. Today, you will apply what you learned about increasing patterns. You will create your own increasing patterns. Before you work in groups, I will show you how to make one. How many dots are there in figure 1? There is one dot. Write 1 under figure 1. How many dots are there in figure 2? There are 5 dots. Write 5 under figure 2. How is figure 2 formed from figure 1? A dot is added to the right, left, above, and below the dot in figure 1. How many dots are there in figure 3? There are 9 dots. Write 9 under figure 3. How is figure 3 formed from figure 2? One dot is placed at each end of figure 2. How many dots are there in figure 4? There are 13 dots. Write 13 under figure 4. How is figure 4 formed from figure 3? One dot is placed at each end of figure 3. Let us consider figures 1 and 2. Compare the number of dots in figure 1 and figure 2. The number of dots in figure 2 is 4 more than in figure 1. We can say that 1 increased by 4, or adding 4 to 1 gives 5. The pattern follows a rule where the number of dots increases by 4 from the previous term to the next. For example, figure 2 is formed by adding a dot to the right, left, above, and below the dot in figure 1. Let's try. Using this pattern, draw figure 5 and find the number of dots in it. Write your answer on your show me board, then raise it for me to see. Let's discuss your answers afterward. The expected answer is 17 dots. 13 plus 4 equals 17. Example 2. How many triangles are there in figure 1? There is one triangle. Write 1 under figure 1. How many triangles are there in figure 2? There are 3 triangles. Write 3 under figure 2. How is figure 2 formed from figure 1? 2 triangles are added. The first is an inverted triangle, followed by an upright triangle. How many triangles are there in figure 3? There are 5 triangles. Write 5 under figure 3. How is figure 3 formed from figure 2? 2 triangles are added. The first is an inverted triangle, followed by an upright triangle. What is the pattern? The pattern is that 2 triangles are added to the previous figure. The first triangle added is an inverted triangle, followed by an upright triangle. To find the number of triangles in the next figure, add 2 triangles to the previous one. Work in groups. Create your own increasing pattern from figure 1 to figure 4, using circles of the same size. Describe your pattern by explaining how the pattern increases from figure 1 to figure 4, and how you use the circles to form the pattern. Possible output. The pattern follows a rule where one circle is added on top of the previous figure. To determine the number of circles in the next figure, simply add one more circle to the previous figure. How do we create increasing patterns? To create increasing patterns, we need to follow a specific rule that determines how each element in the sequence increase. This rule ensures that the arrangement follows a consistent pattern of increase. Create an increasing pattern with 4 terms by combining any number from 1 to 12 with any letter from A to J. Write the pattern inside the box. Describe the pattern you created. Write an increasing pattern with 4 terms inside the rectangle. Make sure the pattern follows a clear rule. 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D. The numbers increase by 1, while the corresponding letters follow the chronological order of the alphabet from one term to the next. Describe the pattern or rule you followed to create the increasing pattern inside the rectangle. Explain how each term changes. B2, C4, D6, E8. The letters follow the chronological order of the alphabet, while the corresponding numbers increase by 2 from one term to the next. For day 3. Read the problem. Risa and Jose have a countdown sheet, which they are using to track the remaining 10 days before their visit to the province. Accidentally, a part of their countdown sheet is torn as shown. What number could have been next to 5? What do Risa and Jose have? Risa and Jose have a countdown sheet. What is it for? It is used to track the remaining 10 days before their visit to the province. What happened to their countdown sheet? It was accidentally torn. What does the problem want us to find? It wants us to determine the number next to 5. What is your answer to the problem? It is 4. How do you know? We counted backward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. How are the numbers 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 arranged? They are arranged in decreasing order. How do you know that the numbers are arranged in decreasing order? We compared two adjacent numbers. Except magkatabi or magkasunod, the next number is always less than the previous one. How much less is 9 compared to 10? 9 is 1 less than 10. 10 and 9, write minus 1 as shown. What number is next to 9? Next to 9 is 8. What can you say about 8 compared to 9? 8 is less than 9. How much less is 8 compared to 9? 8 is 1 less than 9. 9 and 8, write minus 1 as shown. Do the same process until you reach the last number, 5. You will have the following on the board. The given sequence of numbers follows a specific order, known as a decreasing pattern. A decreasing pattern is a sequence in which the terms decrease according to a certain rule. In the sequence, each number is called a term. To determine the next term, we follow a rule. Each number decreases by 1 from the previous term to the next. The sequence is not only decreasing, but more importantly, the decrease is always by 1. For example, the number 4 is the term next to 5 because 4 is 1 less than 5. Write 4 beside 5 on the board, then write minus 1 below them to show that 4 is 1 less than 5. What will be the next term after 4? Explain your answer. Next to 4 is 3 because 1 less than 4 is 3. Write 3 beside 4 on the board, then write minus 1 below them to show that 3 is 1 less than 4. Does it show a decreasing pattern? Yes, it does. How do you know? The pattern shows that the number of circles decreases by 2 from one figure to the next. Look at the pattern. Count the number of circles in each figure, then find out how many circles are taken away or decreased from one figure to the next. Suppose we extend the sequence. How will the next figure look like? The expected answer is this. What is the decreasing pattern? A decreasing pattern is a sequence in which the elements of the sequence decrease according to a certain rule. Example, what is the next term in the following sequence? 80, 70, 60, 50. The next term is 40. How do you know? The sequence shows a decreasing pattern where each term is 10 less than the previous one. Put a check mark inside the circle before each number if the sequence shows a decreasing pattern, and an X mark if it does not. If the pattern is decreasing, draw or write the next term inside the rectangle. Number 1. Check. Number 2, X. Number 3, check, 25. Number 4, X. Number 5, check. For day 4. Example 1. What is the difference between 100 and 90? Their difference is 10. What is the difference between 90 and 80? Their difference is 10. What is the difference between 70 and 80? Their difference is 10. Is the sequence a decreasing pattern? Why? Yes, it is. Each number decreases by 10 from one term to the next. Imagine that the pattern continues. Work with your pattern to write the 5th and 6th terms of the pattern on your Show Me board. Raise your board when you're done, and we'll discuss your answers together. The 5th term is 60. The 6th term is 50. Example 2. How many circles are there in figure 1? There are 32 circles. Write 32 under figure 1. How many circles are there in figure 2? There are 28 circles. Write 28 under figure 2. How is figure 2 formed from figure 1? One row of 4 circles is removed from figure 1 to form figure 2. How many fewer circles are there in figure 2 than in figure 1? There are 4 fewer circles in figure 2 than in figure 1. How many circles are there in figure 3? There are 24 circles. Write 24 under figure 3. How is figure 3 formed from figure 2? One row of 4 circles is removed from figure 2 to form figure 3. How many fewer circles are there in figure 3 than in figure 2? There are 4 fewer circles in figure 3 than in figure 2. Work with your partner and draw figure 4. Count the number of circles in the figure and write your answer on your Show Me board. When you're ready, raise your board so I can see your answer. Then we'll discuss your responses together. Here is the expected answer. Each figure is obtained by removing one row of 4 circles to get the next one. Additionally, the number of circles in each figure decreases by 4 from one figure to another. Work in groups. Create your own decreasing pattern from figure 1 to figure 4 using squares of the same size. Describe your pattern by explaining how the pattern decreases from figure 1 to figure 4 and how you use the squares to make the pattern. Expected answer is this. The pattern follows a rule where one column is removed from the previous figure to create the next one. To determine the number of squares in the next figure, subtract 3 from the total number of squares in the previous figure. How do we create decreasing patterns? To create decreasing patterns, we need to follow a specific rule that determines how each element in the sequence decrease. This rule ensures that the arrangement follows a consistent pattern of decrease. Create a decreasing pattern with 4 terms by combining any number from 10 to 20 with any letter from E to L. Write the pattern inside the box. Describe the pattern you created. Write a decreasing pattern with 4 terms inside the rectangle. Make sure the pattern follows a clear rule. 20i, 19h, 18g, 17f. The numbers decrease by 1, while the corresponding letters follow the reverse chronological order of the alphabet from one term to the next. Describe the pattern or rule you followed to create the decreasing pattern inside the rectangle. Explain how each term changes. L18, K16, J14, 11, 12. I12. I12. The letters followed in reverse chronological order of the alphabet, while the corresponding numbers decrease by 2 from one term to the next.